Master Lubor has high expectations of you. Don't disappoint him.
Excuse me.
You've heard, then?
I've heard rumors.
Damn thieves. Pilfering the crystals that were meant to fill our cups and light us. Us common folk have hardly had a shard to share between, and it isn't as if we can buy them on the black market.
Do you have a moment?
Depends what for.
Just a question. Dalamil seems to be thriving.
Well, we're a stone's throw from Drake's Fang, for one. The soldiers guarding the mother crystal and the shipments need a place to... The men on the rock throw their money about like there's no tomorrow.
Is that so?
A deposit?
Take a sniff, good sir. Needed to a silken softness.
You wouldn't believe how much it is. What can I do for you, sir?
I'm not a soldier.
Ugh, then be off with you. I serve the men of the rock.
You have...
Don't be stupid. I just know we don't want to be stuck under some pauper when... No, just leave, will you? Before you scare...
I think I'm starting to get an idea of what's been going on. I wonder if Uncle Byron's learned anything of use. He'll probably be back at the inn by now.
The finest fabrics!
What was all that crashing and banging about before?
It's you, the one who broke all our furniture. What do you want? Haven't you...
I'm looking for my pal.
The gentleman who was with you? Yes, he's upstairs, but...
Thank you.
Let me treat you. I'm pretty flush these days.
How are you now?
Will this suffice as a deposit?
By the sands.
One of the many treasures in my collection that...
All right. But not here.
What are you doing, Uncle? Care to explain why you're giving...
Bait, my boy. One cannot... And I do believe I've snagged us quite the quarry. I started. I had no luck, of course. It's forbidden to try. But my uncharacteristic indiscretion just happened to... They took me aside and said they could procure the crystallized sort.
So the pearl was your proof?
I thought they'd ask for more. A second-rate, a small price to pay for admittance to the underworld. But enough about my little act of...
That the supply of crystals has dried up of late. Meanwhile, members of Kupka's private guard have been spending money. I'll wager those soldiers you've been talking to have been siphoning off...
I'll wager you're right.
We'll meet with them then, and put an end to the trouble, Lubor.
Ha! That preening popinjay thought this would be... It just goes to show, one should never underestimate a Rosfield. I arranged to meet with the soldiers in a secluded corner of the Velcroy, far from prying eyes.
The perfect place for a spot of double dealing.
I trust I can count on your support if things turn sour.
Of course.
The inn's a mess of blood-soaked splinters, thanks to you.
What was all that crashing and banging about?
It's over.
I'll take it from here.
I was beginning to think you weren't coming, my...
All the silver and stones I could...
You brought the whole 500 talents.
That was the price we agreed upon.
Of course. Right this way.
Not bad at all. But what of security? If I were to be stopped on the road...
Because these crystals are no longer the property of the Republic. You're not buying from us, you're buying from them.
And we have no more jurisdiction here than you, my lord. But we have ships, and will gladly deliver to a port of your choosing.
Royalists, eh? What brings...
Why? To collect their share of Drake's Fang's blessing, of course. And being such good friends. And now that these crystals are officially property of the Kingdom of Waloed, we are duty-bound.
Did you get all that? They're in cahoots?
So it would seem.
My lord!
Double-crossing dogs! Kill them! Kill them both!
It's not over yet, Uncle!
Good! I'm just getting warmed up!
Get him!
Well, that wasn't too bad. How'd you like my performance, huh? I've often played the villain on the stage. I think I...
Greybeard, you were magnificent. The battle scene was particularly... Such a shame you didn't have more of an audience, but...
How long have you been watching?
Long enough to witness your uncle's sordid. I hardly expected one so venerable to degrade himself so thoroughly.
This was the trouble you spoke of. The men of the Rock taking crystals meant for the common folk and conspiring with... Well, now it's over.
Indeed it is. The people of Dalamil had scarcely any means of redress against Kupka's men. Until you two came along, that is. Well, we'd better get these crystals back to town. You won't mind waiting with them. It occurs to me that I still don't know your name.
Clive.
So, Sid the Second is a Clive. Well, Clive, you held up your end of the bar. To tell the truth, you've helped a little there too. Many of the guards have already been redeployed to deal with the issue of their and those left behind have been encouraged to look the other way should you attempt to pass.
Thank you. And please allow me... you still have the purse I gave to the soldiers, I trust.
Oh, dear.
And my name is not Greybeard. It is Lord
No, thank you very much.
Double the...
Here, where... Any friend of mine who sees you...
Thank you, Lubor.
And please, feel free to send one of my Stoluses. Tell them that Rosina Dalamil is back in bed with Sid.
Omia Lostelan. Tuisa Achilles.
I'm trusting you, Sid. Or should I say, Clive. So be sure not to let me down. I have a reputation to uphold. Well then, I wish you a safe...
Thank you.
Not at all. It was my pleasure.
Come on, Uncle.
What is it now? You and I? What? Alas. Still, ours is a blessed corner of the Velcro. At least they did. So... how very fitting. Of course, they're simply... Don't be a stranger.
I've never even forged a button. Perhaps...
I wouldn't put it past him.
Neither would... Oh, wait, sorry. I'm Sava, Master Luba's soon-to-be former apprentice if I don't pass this test. People are buying up weapons faster than the Briar's Kiss can forge them, and here he wants me to make a carving knife, one that embodies the spirit of I don't suppose you have any...
I'm afraid not.
Never mind.
I could give you a hand. I know how busy the Briar's Kiss has been.
I'd be a...
So,
Good question. And then there's this little riddle to keep in...
the way I see it, there's only one way we'll be solving Lupor's puzzle. We need information.
You're right. Now, who to speak... There's plenty of folk in Dalamil who... There's the butcher. Of course, they're bound to have an opinion or two about the... All right. I'll talk to every cook I can find.
All right.
Let's hope that someone says...
Trust Lubor to take a simple test and turn it into a riddle. I'd better get to it.
My carpets. It would make a fine fit for your... Welcome, sir.
A question, if you don't. I need to know what makes a good...
You a blacksmith or something?
something.
Fair enough. Knives, is it? First and foremost, it's got to hold an edge. Most knives will make it through fat. No, give me a blade which can slice through anything.
So a knife that stays sharp.
Made from the stoutest stoneware.
Won't you? Everything I've worked for. Hero. All those years of...
Are you all right?
The baths are closed. On second thought, perhaps you are
That depends on the...
I'd have you save my business. The baths. The water's turned scalding hot and all the crystal... I've no doubt that my woe... But I can't go and investigate for fear of my customers. I'm bound to these baths in more ways than one.
All right.
Wonderful. It's not... Leave the market by the south gate. The smell of salt... These baths are all that... My livelihood...
The baths are, closed.
Hanging lantern!
Ah, they've opened the gate.
Lubor was true to his word.
What is it?
Sorry.
Hunter?
I have a question.
Has to be able to put up with some punishment. Can't be dealing with a... Your knife snaps every time you use it. You'll be spending coin as fast as you...
Thank you. I won't keep you any longer.
All business, eh? Man after my own.
So, a carving knife should be hard-wearing and hold an edge. Hardly a revelation. Let's hope Sava had better luck than I did.
Ah, I'm not too late.
What is it, Lubor?
A question that I neglect. Where is it that you're bound?
To Drake's Fang. To finish Hugo Kupka.
Just as I thought. Then allow me to share a secret. Drake's Fang is currently riddled with royalists. Talmeki and Walud are allies, and as you have seen, but no nation has ever before allowed a foreign army to make...
Not by choice, at least.
And there's more. My man on the inside of the Fang has failed to report for... I fear there may be more trouble lying in wait for you on the road. If you're determined to beard the lion's den, then promise me one thing. That you will... I've lost one Cid already. If I lose another...
I don't plan on dying.
Well, so long as you...
Drake's Fang should be just beyond these springs. Shall we press on?
Come on, girl. The gate's open now. We can press on.
What the hell are those things?
Something awful's taken up residence in the springs.
flames. That explains the heat. Let's cool things down a bit. Let's hope it's enough to keep the baths from boiling.
I saw with my own two eyes what you did to those devils down there, and I still hardly believe it.
Broken down, you say? From the weight of its load?
Aye. The guards are furious about it.
Come on, girl, the gate's open.
We should get going soon.
Finally, we'll be able to get lost.
Wait, Incense! What? There he is! The man who saved my business. I was hoping we'd be seen. The baths grow more bearable by the moment. It won't be long now.
I'm glad to hear it.
Now, tell me this. What did you find at the tent?
Not what I expected, that's for certain.
You tell of finds. That's not to say I don't believe you, though. Creatures may... But I burdened you with my worries enough already. Right. It's high time I got back to...
Scrubbing is almost finished.
The most fragrant herbs and
The finest fabrics.
Is it true what I'm hearing?
So, you learn anything useful, or...?
Only that a blade should be durable and stay sharp.
All the cook said was that he needs too heavy, and they do it...
So we're no better off than when we... Perhaps Lubor didn't mean anything with his Dalamil remark. That can't be right. I've bandied enough words with the man to know that he'd shoot... No. We must be missing...
No doubt you're right. I have to make a start soon.
Agreed. Lubor.
Right. I've been trained to work Trouble is, it's meaning someone is going to be disappointed. Forge
Is there no one else you can turn to?
The other apprentices know better than to help me with my test. A merchant, a favourite of Forge Master Lube. I bet she'd know a thing or two. The old cook has
Any luck? Or will you be needing...
Well, I asked her, but...
If you're looking to make a knife that will impress a master like Luke, they're just not that viable. Featherlight adamantite knives will get passed from generation to generation, never needing so much as a lick of the... But adamantite ore is unique to ash, so it doesn't come cheap.
And it's beyond my skill.
Unique to ash? Are there any materials unique to Dalamil? Something which could be mixed with iron to...
What are you getting at?
You said that Lubor trained you to work iron, but he would have known that it would either be too heavy or too brittle for a carving knife. Perhaps his Dalamil...
If it's cheap metal you're using, then there's always limestone. Folk first settled Dalamil to get it a min... And if you know the trick, it can be melted down...
Bloody hell! That must be it. I don't suppose you know the trick, do you?
It's hardly my speciality, but I've been around and...
Looks like I've got some learning to do. Clive, I hate to ask after all that you've...
Limestone? Fine. Besides, I want to know if this...
I can't. You'll have no trouble finding limestone over in...
Then I suppose I'll meet you back at the...
Right you are. So, do you... Wash it up, or just throw it in the furnace? Is it true what I'm hearing?
Kneaded to a silken softness, like eating a cloud.
Made from the stoutest stone.
Silver platters, hanging lanterns, keep it up.
We should get going soon.
One rock looks a lot like another. But hopefully this is what Sava needs.
Just look at the detail.
Take a sniff,
It would
sir.
make
My carpets have pride of place.
I hear you and the Master are working together now. Glad to have you on board.
I wasn't sure how much but I hope this is enough.
You are one of the good ones. You and that merchant both. She's got quite a gift. Now, time to see if... A knife forged from the very rocks of Dalamil.
It's a fine-looking blade.
That sounds like my cue. And
I'm sorry, Forge Master Lubor.
let's take a look then. First things first, Sava, do you think this is...
But what?
What do I think in... It's sharp-ish, but it will... And it's heavy. Heavier than it should. You might not think it just to hold it for a moment, but sell that to a cook and it looks like someone paid a visit to the terraces. The limestone was a step in the right direction, granted, but one that still leads...
And I was so certain I had it all worked.
I don't know who you found to teach you that little trick, but next question. How much do you think I would charge?
Well, if it took you even a fraction of the time it took me, I would say...
And who would be able to... The butcher? The hunter? Dalamil is home to humble traders, not wealth. Rule number one in any business, Sava.
Yes, Forge Master.
This is just... I'd say you're worth keeping around a little lot. Starting tomorrow, you'll have an anvil...
I will. What would you do if you...
I'd do what I always do. If it was for the butcher, I'd make sure it holds an edge. For the hunter, I'd make it as tough. For the cook, light as a feather. And for the nobleman...
There goes a master, all right.
It looks like congratulations are in order.
I couldn't have done it without you. So much for the Forge Master's riddle, though, eh? The spirit of Dalamil had nothing to do with limestone or anything much at all. Meaning...
You've passed your test. That's all that matters.
And when I do... Thank you, Clive. I honestly don't think I could have done it without all your help.
I hear you and the Master are working